Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome. Happy Thursday in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi and I help folks with a job to start a side gig online and use social media to grow it. If that is you, drop the word me in the comments and I will get back with you after this live. What's happening? Welcome. I feel like the lighting is way up. Welcome. Good to see you. I was talking to a friend today and we were talking about how sales has changed completely over the years. When you used to think about like salespeople back in the day, you would think about the guy with with the hat, the little briefcase, the raincoat, and knocking on your door, trying to sell you a vacuum cleaner or something like that. And back in the day, it was all kinds of stuff, but it's changed. It's changed. They would knock on doors and say, "Hey, do you want a vacuum cleaner? No. Do you want your windows washed? I don't know. I'm just making that up. No. Okay." And they would just go to the next. Even if they were selling insurance, a lot of them were just knocking on doors and saying, "Hey, do you want insurance? No. Next." Right. So it wasn't just like it wasn't one of those things that they would sit there at the table, build rapport, have a relationship with you. It wasn't like that at all. It's more like, hey, you want this deal? No, yes. All right, we move on, right? As you're joining me live, let me know you are here. We'd love to know where you're tuning in from. I myself am from Southern California, and it's chilly, man. It's chilly. I ain't gonna lie to you. So anyway, that has changed over the years. That attitude of you knocking on doors, and listen, although there are people who still knock on doors, um, they're really brave nowadays. It's really, like I said, it's really changed because you really don't have an idea what's behind that door. So if any of you are door to door salespeople, I salute you because it's a tough gig. But it's no longer that um, tacky way of sales. That stuff doesn't work anymore. You can do it. It's not very successful. So what is successful is really building a connection. Now, sometimes you can build a rapport and you can build a rapport for days and weeks and months. And at the end, you just become a really good friend, but not earn business. I've done that many times where, you talk to a client, you talk and you talk and you talk, and then they just will take your call. They will answer your emails, but they'll never buy from you. Have you ever had that happen? If any of you are in sales, have you ever had that happen to you? Drop a one in the comments. If you've been in sales and you haven't had this happen to you, you haven't been in sales long enough. Just the truth, right? Just the truth. So one thing I'll tell you that has changed. And if you really want to be a good salesperson, now I've done a long time ago. I did a live on, hey, there's a whole difference between you being a salesperson and you being a closer. See, there's a difference between being an artist and being a painter, right? I mean, it's the truth. So for you to be a salesperson, you can just, be that door to door person, or just do it without any really giving it a thought, no strategy, No tactic, just boom, boom, boom. Dolly, what's up? So you can be that person, or you can be somebody who can actually make this an art. Like when people watch you um, persuade somebody into a deal, into a sales, then they say, "Wow, that was incredible. It just felt so fluid." Yes. Now, there is a big difference between you convincing someone and persuading someone. I'll do a whole live on that another day, but just to give you a brief idea, convincing somebody is you convince somebody of something that they don't want to do. That's convincing. When you make somebody do something they don't want to do, when you make somebody buy something they don't want to buy, that's convincing. But when you make somebody go through the steps and purchase something they have been wanting to buy, but they really didn't have a reason, or they weren't really thinking about it, or they just lost interest, or what happened, right? Encouraging more viewers to share. What's up, Dolly? Share. Um, that's fun. I should probably encourage people to share. I actually encourage them at the end usually, but to tag people on share. But I appreciate it. So um, the days that you would convince somebody, those days are, I don't want to say almost. I don't want to say they're over, but they're almost over because the consumer nowadays is very educated. They know probably more than you do, even, right? So what you want to do is build a connection. See, if you truly have a product that solves a problem, all you got to do is poke enough until you find that problem you solve. You got to build a connection with that person, meaning a personal story, a personal um, feedback, something where you can say, you know what, I can relate with this. I've gone through this. I've done that. That makes somebody connect with you, relate with you. And it's no longer about the deal. Now it's an emotional connection where you and that person have something in common. You were in a position, you were in a situation where you can connect exactly with your prospect across the way, and you're like, I was in that situation, this is how I solved it. See, that's building a connection. That's being real with the person. That's offering a solution. That's persuading somebody towards something they wanted to do. And I ask you these days, don't be this um, emotionless, hardcore, like off the streets used car salesperson. Don't be that person. So listen, I have family who sell used cars, so don't be coming at me. Or if you want to, feel free, but don't be that person. Don't be that person. You want to persuade, you want to connect with a person, and you genuinely want to find out if your solution fits their problem, whatever it may be. And if it doesn't, you should be the first one to say, this doesn't work for you. I have talked I have talked people out of buying from me. I literally have. I have. I'm okay with that because I really truly felt like that's not for them. And I mean that. So I want you to think about The next time you talk to a prospect, you're trying to sell. And I was talking to, like I started this live, I was talking to a friend, a neighbor actually, and we were outside. We're talking, and he sells insurance. He's a younger kid, and we're talking, and I gave him some suggestions, and he said, "Wow, have you sold insurance?" I said, "No, actually." He goes, "Wow, that's exactly what these guys, the top earners, say what you got to do." And I'm like, it's basically psychology, right? You're trying to persuade. If you were to convince, you just be this hardcore salesperson, emotionless, just commission focused. You're just a dollar bill to me. You're not trying to solve a problem for that person, right? So I'm asking you to be more connecting with people before you go for the close, right? And before you know it, it's just going to kind of smoothly, it's just going to walk itself through the process if you do it correctly. See, the thing is this: most of us want to get that self so fast, so quick, so we come on so hard, so boom, right? And there is a finesse to it. There's an art to it. There's a whole process to it. And you gotta be willing to spend the time and carry the conversation. That's the most important thing. You got to be able to carry the conversation. If you're sitting across somebody on a date, you don't want to be staring at each other without anything to say. If somebody says something, you got to be able to carry that conversation. Well, that person is going to walk away. It's like, you're boring. I'm out. Same thing here. If you don't carry the conversation and if you don't connect with that person, they may be sitting in front of you, but they're already clocked out. They're out. They can't wait to get out of this and be done with it and never come back. So connect. And here I'll leave you with this. Um, if somebody doesn't buy from you, whatever it is you're selling, if somebody does not buy from you the time you sit with them and you go for the time you go for the close, they don't buy from you, when they leave you, you better have what I call PTF. You have planted the flag, which means when they get in their car and drive back to their place, all they're thinking about is the conversation they had with you. You cannot be just another salesperson where you throw a pitch, somebody says no, and they leave and they never think about you or never remember you. That is the worst salesperson. You better plant that flag. They better be thinking about you. You better have impacted them in such a way that if they don't buy, you made them think. And the next time that product name comes up, you're selling insurance and somebody else talks about insurance, boom, you pop in their head. Why? Because you planted the flag, your flag. You made a difference. That's how you make a difference. They remember you, right? So, and they remember you in a good way, obviously. You don't want to be remembered as this, like, you know, you know, you want to be remembered in a way where, oh, that guy made sense. That girl had a lot of good points. You plant the flag. So remember that always, 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 always find a way to connect. And here again, I'm gonna finish with this. If you connect well, if they don't buy, it's you're in. You're even if they don't buy, you're in their head, in their heart, and that's what counts. So, with that positive vibe, plant the flag. PTF. Seed is a different. So, um, that's I'm glad you brought that up. So, plant the seed. I call that. Um, I call that. Always leave with the follow up seed. So, seed is something that will grow, right? That follow up is going to grow. But planting the flag is that you're in their head. You're not growing. You're there. See, if people talk collagen, if people think collagen, they're immediately going to think of me. It doesn't have to grow into that. I'm already in their head. But if you leave with the follow up seed, it means that you can follow up with them. You can actually that seed, that connection, that friendship, that whatever it is that's going to grow over time. So you're allowed. You always. It, again, like in I could talk about sales forever, but if they don't buy, you have already you're going to leave with again with with the follow-up seed. Why? Because you're not just going to leave them in the street. You're going to say, hey, you know, why don't we circle back in a couple of months or a couple of weeks? See, that's a follow-up seed. You're just planting it right there, right? And over time you're going to grow that. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. I got my own like terminology and concepts, right? So with that, hopefully you guys get. Oh, it's 111 right now in Southern California, you guys. It's 111. It just turned 112. Anyway, I digress. With that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let this feed grow. And I know a couple people that could benefit, get some value from this live. Don't be stingy with my live. It's my live. Share. And they say caring is sharing. So why don't you show you care by sharing? With that, I am Sean Azimi, and I help folks with a job to start an online side gig and use social media to grow it. If that's you, drop the word me in the comments, and I will get back with you after this live. With that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.